This is me.
August 30th, 2020. I flew to Los Angeles to visit my friend Sam and go camping, hiking, and swimming with him in SoCal. As the week would progress, however, the trip turned into a long exploration across multiple locations. We started out by exploring the Bighorn Mine, an abandoned gold mine in Angeles National Forest. What's up, guys? Doing some cave exploration. All right, at an intersection. I know this is time consuming, but I'd rather be time consuming.
Yeah, I prefer it too. I want to remember which way we've gone.
Use the back of the knife. Word. I'll take a picture of this. Hang on. That way. You're coming out of a cave to see pillars and old mine works. When this happens, go to the left into this area and then look down towards that green arrow and turn left at the green arrow. Coming back through this portion, you'll see this shape like a spiral. And as you go in, follow that white arrow right. Through some mining works, turn slight right and follow that white arrow with the blue circle down that cave. Coming to another intersection down that way is wrong. Follow these arrows through this cave. It doesn't look like it goes anywhere, but it does. Continue through and up and out into that big cave. This is for you guys, Mom and Dad, just so you know I'm doing things that you would maybe think is dangerous. This was a mine shaft that we went into. It's about a quarter mile, maybe about a quarter mile into the ground. So here's the old mine rail. Check it. Freaking cool. And then here you're gonna see the mountains in a second. Here we go. After hiking back down the Bighorn Mine Trail, Sam and I drove to our campsite in Malibu Creek State Park. Sam had discovered how to make marshmallows from scratch using real marshmallow root, and he was excited to try them out over the fire. We set up camp and took a short walk in the park at last light, and we got to stand very close to some mule deer. Before it got too late, we climbed into our tents to get some rest. We had a 7-mile hike ahead of us the next day, and would need to be ready. The next morning, we grabbed breakfast and went to the trailhead. Palm tree. Parakeet. This is Malibu State Park, and I am a couple thousand feet above the ocean. And yeah, I hiked up. This is one of the lower summits that Sam and I are gonna do. Look at all the clouds. You know, very non-typical California weather, but you know, the trick is actually that it's like this at 7 in the morning, and apparently like almost no one wakes up this early. So yeah, beautiful. The hike was long and arduous, and we were pretty exhausted by the time it was done. But what we found at the top was worth the walk. Blackened trees in California, left over from a fire. Fires rage across this area of California every year.
That's not true. It was a significant disaster. I mean, there are lots
Being
of
in California is pretty much like being in hell. There's so much fire all the time. It's never-ending fire.
I mean, that's kind of accurate.
But the important thing here to notice is that these trees are not dead. They're still alive. Life finds a way.
That's from Jurassic Park.
Sam was right, of course. And later I learned that lower and mid-elevation wildfires can occur naturally every 10 to 25 years, and that these kinds of fires are actually good for the ecosystem. This is different than the catastrophic fires that have been occurring more recently. Sam and I intended after this to head north together to Big Sur, but our plans, as they often do, changed. I've been in California since last Friday, and I've been hanging out with my friend Sam Szymanski, and we've been camping down here in SoCal, near Malibu, in a canyon, in a desert environment or a semi-desert environment, and hiking in hilly grasslands. Now it's Wednesday, and Sam is tapped out. He told me I could use his car, and so I'm headed north. I'm hoping to find some snow-capped mountains. Let's see if I can get there in time. Smoke in the air, in all directions. I wonder if it's from forest fires. It's been going for miles and miles. It's so hazy. I just realized what this is. What it really is. It's not smoke. It's not from forest fires. I'm hundreds of miles from any forest. This is dust. It's just dust for hundreds of miles. And there's a great agricultural thing going on here. Lots and lots of farms that also stretch on for hundreds of miles. But it's just so dusty. This must have been what the Wild West really was before, you know, industrialization and modernization took over. Fascinating. The very beginning of the Rocky Mountains. red bowl or dust bowl of California and heading up through the dust and the mists. Way up, about 2,500 feet, and here's the edge. No guardrail. I make a wrong move, and I'm dead. Zero compromise. Whew. It feels great to be so high up. Exhilarating. Just past the sign for 4,000 foot elevation, and the trees have changed a little bit now. There's definitely more of them. Less desert-like. The temperature's dropped about 10 degrees. Just now went into the pines. We've changed from deciduous trees to evergreen trees, mostly. I'll keep you updated as we go. Okay, so I'm at about 5,000 feet now, and this is the view. I've entered Sequoia National Park. This is home to the largest trees on Earth, like these, which aren't actually that big. Not for giant sequoias anyway. Let's see if we can catch one that's really huge. Of course, the Grant cluster is really the one that is the biggest. But let's see. Look at that one. See the car? See the tree? Giant tree. I will do another video when I see a really big one. So, I was passing by the General Grant giant sequoia tree cluster, and I just figured, like, hey, I'm just gonna stop real quick and, like, take a look real quick and show you guys just how big these trees are. So, this isn't even the biggest one. Pretty big, right? Here, let me show you to scale. All right, hang on. Yeah, they're big. Anyway, moving on. As I head back out of the Sequoia National Park area, something that stands out to me is how many trees are cut down. They were either damaged by fire or by storm, and it appears that they have been cut down to protect other trees, to protect the road, though I'm not sure. And that was disconcerting, you know, because these trees are so valuable because of their rareness, their rarity. And then the other thing that I noticed was smaller trees, smaller sequoia trees that are on their way to becoming just like the General Grant tree, on their way to becoming really, really huge and a marvel. And I don't know if it really works that way. Are they younger because they're smaller? Or are they smaller because they're younger? Or are they smaller because of the environment that they're growing in? That specific, like, small area that they're growing in? So that's my question. Are sequoia trees like goldfish? Or are sequoia trees just have a static growth pattern, and it doesn't matter what's going on. They're just going to eat through whatever they're going to eat through and then get really huge. So I'm going to have to look into that. Anyway, it was still really encouraging to see seemingly younger sequoia trees that were healthy and on their way to becoming great. Oh my God, guys. This is so beautiful. Here, I don't even know if you can see it from this, but there. This is a massive canyon. It's called Kings Canyon, and I'm headed down the edge of it right now. It goes up maybe several thousand feet and down several thousand feet from where I currently am. Watch this right here, and there's the cliff. Here's more of these. Kings Canyon, everyone. In the bottom of the canyon now, and there's the river. Just found out that this road, which is 180, ends in the middle of the mountains inside of the national park, and there is no station for food or water or anything between here and there. I have 2 vessels of water, and after that, I'm out. I'm not really thirsty. I've had like a whole bunch of water today, but I'm getting kind of hungry. So I didn't find snow-capped mountains, and I'm out of time, at least for now, for this year, out of time before I have to head back for my flight, because today's Wednesday, I'm leaving on Friday. So I think I'm gonna head back towards Sequoia National Forest somewhere and camp out on the side of the road. Maybe I will go back into like civilization a little bit and then head back up into the mountains to camp, and then I'll head back down in the morning and then go down the coastline. That way, by tomorrow night, I should be able to be back in Los Angeles with Sam so that I can head out to the airplane on Friday. That's the plan. No snow-capped mountains, but did see some really cool stuff. And the mountains here are beautiful, whether there's snow on them or not. So, all right. But I never did head back into the mountains to camp, becoming determined to get video footage of Big Sur, and realizing that it was too far out of the way to get to it in the morning. I drove through the night and began to search for a place to camp along the coast shortly before dawn. I'm driving across the wind-swept grasslands of Central California under a full moon. And the gently rolling hills are silhouetted by its light. It's pretty cool. Big Sur, which is the seaside mountainous park that I want to go to next, is on fire. At least a portion of it's on fire. So I'm going to have to select a portion that is far, far away from that fire. Fortunately, it's a very, very big park. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully I'll have somewhere to sleep tonight. So I didn't quite find a way to camp in Big Sur. The fires were too bad. It was too hard to find a way to camp. So I headed down the coast, and I ended up in Guadalupe, California, and basically just slept in my car. Well, Sam's car, and now I'm having a cup of coffee in the morning. Guadalupe Cafe. So, what will we do now? What will we do? I think I still really want that footage, so I'm gonna head north again, back up towards Big Sur, and see if I can't get some good drone footage of Big Sur today before I head back to Sam's house. I'm headed to Big Sur. Looks like the road that seemed closed on Google Maps wasn't actually closed at all. And even though I'm a little bit low on sleep, it is super awesome. Nothing but the sound of wind going through the coastal plants. The feeling of gravel under my feet. Sea breeze in the air. The most beautiful spot I've found so far. We've got those cliffs over there in the distance, and then this awesome rock with the sea 600 feet below. I'm standing on the edge of a cliff, as you can see. So, this is Big Sur.